Welcome to the Dark Match Podcast. Here's your host, Matt Barger and Pat Carney. What a horrible fucking weekend, man.
What happened?
So, Friday night, my wife is out at Walmart. She runs into a buddy of mine that is only home every now and then. He's an airline pilot, so he travels quite a bit. And she was talking with him. He had mentioned how he was going to have a bonfire at his house. And unfortunately, I couldn't make it to his housewarming party. So it was a cool opportunity for me to go over there and see the house. My other buddy was there too, who I've known my entire life. But I haven't really seen him in a while. He's been studying for this exam for his job. And we just kind of normal jargon bullshit. And we brought up the podcast. My buddy asked me why I kept on sharing all this stuff. He didn't know that I was actually affiliated with this show. So we started talking with that. And my one buddy asked me like how he didn't even know that I really like wrestling. I really don't talk about it. I don't really advertise it that much.
Because they probably don't watch it, right?
They don't. So we really don't have that connection or anything like that. Well, I brought up how when I was in elementary school, my one buddy was continuously talking about it. And because he was my best friend at the time, I wanted to be just like him. So I started watching it and was immediately hooked. As soon as I brought that statement up, my buddy was like, you know, he died last week.
What the hell happened?
Heroin.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So left behind 3 kids, and unfortunately I missed the services and haven't had an opportunity to reach out to his family. I plan on going on social media to find them, to reach out and find if there's any way, especially leaving behind 3 kids. It's a little hard.
Yeah.
So I want to help out any way that I can. So fast forward, that was Friday night. Saturday, find out that a mutual friend passed away as well for the same reason, and passed away Friday night. So it was just like you take all that time to absorb one thing, and then that same reason hits you again.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, you know how I feel about the whole situation with my past history with opiates, not heroin, but pain
you're
pills
sober
because of my neck. And yeah, I am. And I'm only sober because I sought out help and asked for help and was completely willing to stop and not suffer anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And I just wish more people could realize that there's a way out of this, that it's not just, oh, I'm stuck and this is just the way my life's going to be, which I felt that way, dude, for like a year and a half in the end. I felt trapped.
Yeah.
I thought my last few days of using, I either wanted to kill myself or get sober. And I didn't want to die, dude. I had one son at the time.
Yeah.
And that's who I lived for.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't going to do what unfortunately happened with your friends, where he's leaving behind 3 innocent children that had no control over his decisions.
Yeah.
And it's not even his decisions. It's the drugs' decisions at that point.
Yeah.
It really is. And it sucks because there's so many different things you can do. There's meetings. There's doctors. There's psychologists and psychiatrists. There's counseling. There's phone numbers you can call. There's places you can go.
More importantly, there's followers. The people that listen to the show probably have similar experiences too.
Yeah.
There's people you could reach out to, but the biggest and hardest thing I'm sure you can relate is just admitting that there's a problem.
That's the hardest, and that's the first step, is admitting that you have a problem and accepting that you're powerless over that drug and that you need to get help. That's the first step, and it's the hardest hump to get over.
Yeah. And well, it's unfortunate that they kind of happen that way, and I hate to kind of start off the show
Debbie Downer again.
Debbie Downer 2 weeks in a row, but I mean, it's life, man. It sucks. But moving along to more positive notes, God, that's just such a horrible transition, man.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry to everybody that's listening, but
you got to get
it
off
sucks.
your chest, though.
Yeah, it's been killing me. Yeah. So don't really want to talk about it at work. That's not really a conversation
I'm glad
you want to bring.
You can share with me because you know that I can relate.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Having been through it, and hopefully other people can hear this. And if you need help, or if you know somebody that needs help,
our DMs are open. Our DMs are open. Talk to us.
Yeah.
Talk to us, man.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you're powerless. You can't talk to anybody. But
hell no. Reach out to me.
And
Matt, personally. I can help you.
Yeah.
Find people that can get you the help that you need.
Exactly. But it definitely vetoed my plans. So I expected to Friday night go to a wrestling show, but
That would have been your first show, right?
Yeah, it would have been my first show.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, whatever. So, but I planned on making a trek up to C4, and unfortunately noticed that my fucking passport was expired.
Nice.
So that vetoed that plan.
Well, on
but
top of all the crappy things.
Yeah, on top of that, but that was Friday night. Yeah. So finding out that my passport was expired early morning, I was actually going to go up and surprise Kobe, but that got foiled. But he ended up retaining too. So
congrats.
There was congrats, man. Still, your C4 champion Kobe Durst ended up pinning a previous guest on our show too, PCO.
Yeah.
So there was actually somebody on Twitter that even made a joke saying, "We'll let you know the time of death of Kobe Durst when it arrives." And I even commented on it, like with the Judge Judy like tapping at her wrist, like time.
Yeah.
Like with ... above it, and then I tagged Kobe in it, and immediately after that, he deleted the tweet. I'm like, are you kidding me? So he ended up retaining. It was a crazy match. Tables, ladders, chairs, and doors. They
Really?
busted out some doors. They
Nice.
didn't even need tables. They just busted out the front door and just put it in the ring and smashed some people through it. But we got a very extreme interview to get to. Huge interview. So we got to sit down with someone that had a very unique childhood. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
I'm extremely terrified.
I'm proud of her. And
Yeah.
you'll know when you hear the interview why.
Yeah,
and
I'm still terrified. Panic attacks, galore. I can't even imagine having that kind of a childhood, but
Yeah,
what a
well,
hell.
imagine your daughter being put in that atmosphere.
No, I don't want to. I'm having anxiety doing it, but we sat down with Women of Honor superstar Stella Grey. Awesome interview. So I don't want to really hold off any longer. She had a lot to say, crazy upbringing, but more importantly, an even brighter future. So let's get right into it right now. Here's our exclusive interview with Women of Honor superstar Stella Grey.
So how you doing today, Stella? How's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Not too bad. For those individuals that don't know who you are Stella Grey. You are a new up-and-coming, pretty much up-and-rising star of Women of Honor. But you really haven't been doing this for too long. But let's kind of find out a little bit more about Stella Grey, where you started. Now, did you grow up in Philadelphia?
Yes, Philly girl through and through. I've moved a little bit around, but I've always come back. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. You can't leave Philly once you're here, and you kind of have that attitude always once you were born and raised and grew up here. So when you go to other places, people look at you weird because you either curse too much or you're sarcastic a-hole. I don't
Just
know how
come
to
to Cleveland.
describe it.
So.
You'd fit in Cleveland, that's for sure.
Except you guys have championships. We only have one.
We have one. Yeah.
Philly
Thanks for
does.
reminding me.
Yeah, okay.
It was long awaited, and I didn't believe it even when it was happening. I think I kept my head in the phone. I was too afraid to watch the game. So.
I rooted for you guys because I hate the Patriots.
I
I
rooted
hate
for
the Patriots too.
I rooted for
I hate
them
the Patriots so much.
just because the Browns said that Carson Wentz wasn't a Super Bowl quarterback.
Well, I'm going to be honest, though. There's a lot of people in this area and I think other areas that feel that Philadelphia Eagles fans are assholes. Can you clear that up?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand. I kind of understand where people are coming from. Well, it's like it goes back. I don't know what year this was. I always hear about this story because I remember I just had my match with Stacey Shadows, and the commentator brought this up, and I was like, "Why are you bringing this up?" That was like happened when I was a kid, or maybe even before I was born. But supposedly, us Philadelphia fans booing Santa Claus or
That's the
throwing snowballs at
That's
Santa
the big
Claus.
one
That's
that
why
you
he
hear
brought it
about.
up.
Yep.
How long ago was that? I don't know that
it's
game. I never
probably
saw
when
it.
I
Like,
was a kid, which was like 50 years ago. No, like
We continue the
in the
hashtag
80s.
old as shit.
Yeah, hashtag old as shit. That's me.
Yep, that's Matt.
But yeah, it was definitely
But,
the
like,
80s.
Okay, so I'm like, I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. I'm like, I've heard the story, but I've never seen it.
Thanks
and
for making me
that's
feel
what
old,
people-
Stella. I appreciate it.
No, I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Stone Cold,
I'm just saying, like, I've never-
Stone Cold stunned Santa Claus. So
Yeah.
the fans can't be that bad.
No.
Because we still
Yeah.
cheered him after he did it.
I'm sure there's certain instances where if you wear the other team's jersey, you're probably going to get heckled a little bit, but that's just our humor. I like to say, like, you have to have a tough skin growing up in Philly. We're going to bust your chops. If you come wearing a Dallas jersey, that's a whole nother story. You
Oh,
better
yeah.
just not even bother coming to the game.
And that's the same with Cleveland. We can't beat anybody, but we'll make fun of the team of the jersey that you're wearing, too.
Yeah, we'll dog you the whole
Yeah.
time, and then
Yeah.
you walk out with
Well,
the
that's
win
how we
while
were.
we're
And
Like,
then
if
your
we're not
score,
sulking.
and then
Yeah.
the scoreboard dogs us
Yeah.
the whole time.
Exactly.
So you grew up in Philadelphia. You can't take the Philly out of the Philly girl. No matter where you go, you always are Philadelphia. But with your upbringing in Philly, was it more like toddlers and tiaras, or was it more Smash Mouth sports? Because you know a lot of sports references. Was that kind of your upbringing? Were you more of a sporty girl, tom girl, or were you more like beauty pageants and like nail salons?
No. Oh my God. I don't even think I got like a manicure or pedicure until I was like senior year of high school, like for my prom. So that shows I wasn't like a girly girl. Like my friends had to tell me, like, it's your prom, you need to like actually get gussied up a bit. I think my mom was wanted me to be like this little princess, and she'd put my hair in curlers and put me in these dresses, and I hated it. And then when I got like old enough to play sports, my dad immediately put me in sports and soccer. And then I think like in grade school I did basketball, and then grade school, high school, my brothers were playing ice hockey and I wasn't allowed to play that, so they would always practice playing street hockey, so they let me play with them. My sister's older than me, so I didn't really get to do girly things with her, so I was always playing with my brothers, and they're the ones that taught me how to play sports and taught me how to fight. Like, yeah, if we were bored, we would just fight. And I know there's plenty of times, I remember that one incident, like, we fought dirty. My brother, I don't remember which one it was, he like smashed my head in the corner of the wall and like busted my eyebrow wide open. And damn! Yeah, that's basically my brothers wanted me to grow up tough, so did my dad. Yeah, I always had to fight to kind of fit in with my brothers, and I had to prove how tough I was. So I guess that's just, I don't know. I wasn't a girly girl. I try to be a little bit now, like every once in a while, but I still have that tomboy personality, I guess.
Deep inside of you, the tomboy will always live on.
I know.
It's like they make you get all gussied up to get on TV now, but it's like, can I just go out there and just
kick somebody's ass?
Yeah, can't I just smash someone else's face into a wall for a change?
Like for a final battle, like when we had a feeling like they were going to debut the belt, and we're like, one of the producers messaged me and he's like, you make sure you come dressed up for New York. And I'm like, well, what do you mean like dressed up? Like put makeup on, or do you mean like a dress? And he's like a dress. I'm like a nice dress or a casual dress? Like a nice dress. And I'm like, so you want me like full on gussied up? He's like, yeah. I'm like, shit. All right, what do I
gotta go shopping.
Like, exactly.
I need help.
I'm like, I need to go shopping, because I have dresses, but I don't know if they're, I don't know. It was like a big deal, so I wanted like a nice dress.
You like are reaching out to your friends, like, I need help. Like, where do I go?
I literally did. I had all these dresses, and I started taking pictures. I'm like, which one do I wear? And they're like, are you serious? Pick one. I'm like, I really don't know. Like, what dress do you wear for like a pay-per-view that I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I have to be in a dress.
It's like you're looking for a dress that's very similar to a mullet. Like, which one says professional, but I'm still going to kick your ass?
Yes.
Yeah, like, I'm like, I don't, like, do I wear a gown? Do people wear gowns still? Like, I didn't know, like, how
it's like a debutante ball.
What do you have in what are the matches that the divas used to have, the gown matches? Do you remember that?
God,
that was so horrible.
That was a terrible time in wrestling.
It was. I'm glad that part of wrestling is gone. That's why I liked when Alundra Blaze did her interview, or not her interview, her speech when she was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and she showed what she wore, and she's like, look at this. This is what they used to make us. It was like a swimsuit. You know, I mean, they literally wore a one-piece swimsuit. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then, like, most of their segments were just, we'll just go out there, pull some hair. Yeah. Smack around. It's like, can't we wrestle?
It was a joke, is what it was.
Like, we're wrestlers.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly what it was. Like,
can you let us fight?
I hated it.
Yeah. That
was like 2 minutes. 3 minutes of just like pulling hair, like literally rolling around, pulling hair. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, now you have women main event. There's been pay-per-views. Yeah, Ring of Honors, TNA. It's just a totally different world for women in wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There really is a revolution going on right now in the sport of women's professional wrestling. But kind of going back, obviously, with your upbringing, that was right around the time where they started to make that change and they started to incorporate women's wrestling. But do you think that upbringing, that like Smash Mouth sports where your brother's bashing your head into a wall kind of helped gravitate you towards professional wrestling?
My brother was, I remember just being like late at night, like in Philly, ECW was on like this random channel. I don't even think we had cable.
Ours was 29 that it was on, like channel 29, and
30
it was
for me.
fuzzy. It was fuzzy.
It was like 48
Pop.
or 17.
Yep.
I can't even remember.
No, it wasn't
It was
Pop.
like some random Philly station.
TNN.
Yep.
TNN.
But see, I didn't have cable. It was on like a regular channel, and it was always fuzzy.
It was on like this.
Yep.
Yeah, because we were in Philly, it was on like this local station, like
Yep.
this college station. I almost want to say, but I don't even know what it was called. I think it was like I think it was 48. I'm trying to remember because I don't know.
I remember the first time I found it. I scrolled through and I'm like, what is this? Because I always watched
Same with me.
WWE and WWF at the time and WCW, and I found this and I was like, what is this? And every week I would watch that crappy channel that didn't even come in the whole time just to watch ECW.
No, it was staticky. Yeah, it was staticky.
Yep. Yep.
So what was like my first exposure was when I first saw ECW, it was the Dudley Boys destroying, I want to say it was Public Enemy in a bathroom. And I was like, this is the coolest crap I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was like bleeped out like over and over and over. I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah. Like, what am I watching? And then my mom saw, and then she was like, no, turn that shit off.
Exactly.
So what was your first exposure?
Mine was it was a match between Beulah and Fonzie. I think it was a tag match that started off, and then I saw the full match later on, years later, knowing that but when I came in, it was just Beulah and Fonzie, and I just saw Fonzie just like covered in blood. Like I've never seen somebody bleed that much, and it was very like shocking to me. And I just remember like stopping dead in my tracks and like looking at my brother. I'm like, what is this? Like, what are you watching? And he was like real like a smirk on his face, like laughing. It's like, oh, this is ECW. And I'm like, well, what is ECW? And why is that girl fighting that guy? He's like, oh, there's no rules in ECW. And I'm like, well, what do you mean there's no rules? And beat the crap out of him. She won. And I was like, oh, so not only girls could fight guys, but girls can win against guys? Like, it just blew my little mind. And I was hooked, and like me and my brother would watch it like every week, and I would start to sneak out. I got my girlfriend into it who lived next door, and her parents didn't really care what we did. They just kind of like, go do whatever, just get out of the house.
Oh
my parents didn't.
I know where you're going right now.
Yeah, so my parents, like, if they found like me and my brother watching it, they would be the same. They're like, "What is this? Turn it off!" Blah blah. So we literally had to watch it with the volume down very very low. And then when I got my girlfriend into it and we started sneaking out, like I'm watching it live, I was just like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever!" And like remember like doing chores or just trying to do anything to get money. And her dad would pay for most of it, but we wanted to go like every single time. So I just sneaking out and watching it, and seeing it live is a lot different than watching on TV. It's great. It's that arena. Holy crap. Being a girl in that arena, no matter what age, is not a good thing.
Yeah, I love how you say what age.
I don't want to say what age.
No, understandable. I mean, we've
done the math in our heads, and it's just shocking to us, but I'm proud of you. Still.
Oh, no, my parents are not happy about that. They hate hearing. So, like,
so they know about it now? Like, they know about it?
Oh, they know about it now. Yeah, they
can't do shit about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too late now. Like I didn't tell them that I started wrestling until like a year in. I think like a couple months after I had my first match, I told them that I was like training and I was a wrestler. And yeah, so I was leading like a double life for the first year into training. And I was so scared to tell them. Like, I think when I went to tell them, they thought I was dying because of how serious and freaked out I was that they were going to like kill me. But I was going to say, my mom's she's not too supportive of it. I mean, she'll make sure, she'll be like, "Are you okay? Are you hurt? Just please be safe. Have like safe travels traveling." My dad is a little more into it, more supportive of like, "Did you kick ass this weekend?" I'm like, yeah, I tried to. He's like, "What do you mean you tried to?"
Going back to your wonderful, trying to think of the best word to
experiences.
No. This is terrifying. This is terrifying. Obviously, I don't like to talk about women's age. I don't like to ask a woman's age. But we have been disclosed said information, which is between you and I, Matt, that we will not repeat on the air. No. But I'm having a heart attack right now, just thinking about this whole experience with ECW. Like, did you pay off a security guard? Like, did you? Like, what are you? Like, are you secretly like Rob Van Dam's daughter? That was your way to get into
why.
Like. No one said anything?
Not really. No, we just stood in line like everybody else.
For ECW.
I do remember, like,
This isn't like a Tuesday night
there was
matinee.
Nobody really. No, I know, but this is the thing. Like, people would line up while it was still like light out. I do remember this. Like, it was still light out, and then when you got in, it was kind of dark. But the ticket takers were not security. So when you're in there, and the only security is bringing the people out, like the wrestlers out, and making sure nobody touches them or hops the thing. But they're not like really crowd control unless somebody gets out of hand. So we would just be in the crowd with all these people, and we're not going to stick out because we're so small. So we kind of just hid in the mass, that even though it wasn't a big arena, like, we kind of got away with it. It wasn't until like after a while that we realized, like, oh, like, if we wait after the show, maybe like the wrestlers could come out and we could get an autograph. How will we do that? Well, the security guards are the ones that bring them out. So I remember just like talking to the one. I'm not going to say who it is because, again, don't want to get anybody in trouble. I think they do still do security. I think it was like Atlas Security. I think they're still around if they are. But they're the nicest guys. They always made sure we were safe after they did find out who we that we were there at shows. They like always kept an eye on us. So
that's cool.
But after we really are like huge fans and blah, blah. So I think they just saw like two little girls that like just wanted autographs, and they were just like, yeah, okay, we'll get the guys out for you. So they just started bringing the guys out for us, and so I had like autographs all the time and like try to get pictures. And so yeah, like they kind of took care of us. And like then I think it was starting to catch on that we were staying after the shows, and like guys would come out for us. But then like a lot of people start hanging around. I'm like, yo, you're ruining our stuff. Yeah. Like, we just want our moment with the wrestlers. And now like all the other fans kind of caught on, so that died pretty quickly. But
like Sandman comes out with light beer just because you're kids.
That's one I don't think I ever met. I never met Sandman, which I'm very upset about. I would have loved, that would have been probably traumatic.
I just want you to know, I am so jealous of you as when you were a child. It's sad. I mean, as a 36-year-old man, I'm jealous of your childhood.
Yeah. You went to the ECW arena. We ran around our neighborhood playing hide and seek, and we got yelled at for being home after the streetlights came on. You went to Extreme Championship Wrestling and made friends with Atlas Security, met all the wrestlers that we idolized watching on our fuzzy TVs, and you're standing there in the crowd at God knows what age. I'm moving on right now, otherwise I'm going to have a panic attack. So you have this exposure to ECW at a young age. You kind of got that bug that it was something that you wanted to pursue. You continued watching it through the horrible, I know we've talked about this on numerous shows, Matt, the horrible times in wrestling.
Yeah.
Not even just women's wrestling, just wrestling in general. The storylines, everything. You kind of suffered through it for a while. What was your first kind of aha moment when you decided, you know what, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Yeah, well, I fell out of it, like with the girls' matches, with like the bikini and all that stuff. I was trying to stay in the product, but then like when ECW closed, honestly, I felt like I don't want to watch wrestling anymore. Like, this was my heart and soul. Like, I was a crazed ECW fan, so I did like casually watch it, but I was never really fully invested in it. It wasn't until like a couple years ago, like I started hearing about ROH and CZW, and they're like, oh, they're like kind of local East Coast Philly companies, and they were saying like it really kind of reminds you of ECW. Like, a friend of mine said this, and I was like, what are you talking about? And so I started watching it, and I was like, holy crap, like the people on this are super, like it was not the stuff you were seeing on main TV. And I was like, what is this? I remember, I'm trying to think, like I know my friend's son started watching WWE, and there were these people that were signed, and they were former ROH, and I was like Kevin Steen and El Generico, obviously known as somebody else now, but
Kayfabe,
exactly. Not going to say who it is, but y'all can guess.
I don't think we need to guess.
So I started watching. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I'm like,
well, El Generico's dead, so he died.
Yes, that's true. He went to Mexico, helped the orphans, and something.
I heard he was like building huts in Nigeria too.
Oh, really? See, he was a good, kind soul.
He was a very kind soul. R.I.P. El Generico.
Yes, but he was my favorite. I loved him so much. I think I still have an El Generico shirt that I wear to the dojo all the time. Kevin
Owens actually changed his Twitter to Kevin Steen. They released his shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, but they had like an email came out that said like, hey, like limited time only, like Kevin Steen shirts. So I immediately went on there. I'm like, kill Steen, kill. Like, I've wanted this shirt for years. Could never get it. Was always told I'm not allowed to wear wrestling shirts. And obviously taking a look at me right now.
That's all he wears.
That's all I wear.
Yeah.
They're comfy. They're comfy. Leave me alone. I'll buy a Stella Grey shirt later. Don't worry about it.
I know you will. I will too.
I know. I'm not going to buy one shirt, and you know whose shirt I'm not going to buy. I still refuse to buy it. He's still a piece of crap.
Well, that's because your chest still hurts.
It
That's not
still
his
hurts.
fault that
Still hurts.
You lost a bet.
Well, we're getting back.
Stella,
to
did you hear that?
Yeah, she did. She said she did. Okay,
but
we can just move on. No. We don't need to touch on it again.
He's like, move on.
Yeah, move on. My chest still hurts. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not buying his shirt. Okay, you give it to me. I'm literally gonna Ric Flair elbow drop right on top of it.
I think we need to make another bet, and
No.
we need to let Stella be the chopper in the next one.
Fuck that.
Would you be interested in that? Like, we'll have you come to town for a show. When you're in town for a show, we'll have you in the studio, and then whoever lost the bet gets their ass beat by Stella Grey.
No, she beat up her
That's
brothers. No, don't
She
agree to
did.
that. No, don't
like,
agree to
okay.
that. No, she got hit in the head on a wall, and she was like, "Oh, this is fun.
I want to do this for a living.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, let me get hit by Stella Grey. I already got my ass kicked by Madman Fulton. Do I really need to get my ass kicked by Stella? I do not have good luck with bets, okay?
Okay, well, I'm just saying you suck, and you're scared.
Oh, my God. Matt, what are you doing?
Dude, I'm trying to read this story about trade rumors, but now I'm on some random site I've never seen before.
What, did you click on something by accident?
No, it's some pop-up, and now, like, 6 windows are open.
Dude, that is like the most aggravating thing in the world. And there's nothing worse than trying to get your sports and entertainment coverage. And more than half the sites you're clicking on are just ads. They're sending you into scam sites. You try to click X and accidentally hit the ad, and you're in the bane of the internet just going from site to site, and you can't even get the news that you were originally looking for. That all stops now, though, with that'smy216.com. No spam ads, no clickbait, just the content you love, up-to-date news for all of Cleveland's sports teams, and yes, the latest on sports and entertainment from across the globe. You're going to leave saying that's how the internet should be. No more spam ads, no more clickbait, no more 6 windows being opened up out of nowhere. It's how the internet should be. It's that'smy216.com. That'smy216.com, the official sponsor of the Dark Match Podcast. You had this exposure to ECW. You saw Beulah McGillicuddy versus Fonzie, gushing blood throughout the entire match, and pretty much decided from there, you know what? Age not being disclosed, I'm going to go make friends with security guard at the ECW arena. I'm going to go to every single show that I possibly can. But fast forward into your later life, what kind of was the deciding factor that said, I want to do this with the rest of my life?
I think watching like the ROH matches, like with El Generico, and then seeing like NXT. Like I was more into NXT and like the women in NXT, and then seeing them come up. That was like only a couple of years ago. Come to think of it, like just seeing the women actually wrestle and the matches they were having, and I was like, what the? I'm like, so this is like
huge.
On the same caliber as men. They're basically saying like, if you can do it, I can do it, and we'll show you we're just as good. So that kind of got me like reinvested in saying like, you know what, I want to do that. I want to be doing this, and so I just Googled like for shits and giggles, as I said, like the schools in the country. So I just Googled top 10 wrestling schools in the country, and number 2 was the ROH Dojo, and it was literally like 20 minutes from my house.
How convenient.
Like, you're an idiot. Yeah, I'm like, you're an idiot if you don't take up on this. So I was scared to death, but I'm like, it's kind of a sign, like you were so passionate about before, and then you just, for some reason, just got really back into it, and you Google this, and it's this close. Like, there's people that drive hours to go to, like, wrestling school. So, yeah, I was saving up my money, and I went, and I was scared to death, but I signed up and signed my life away the first day I was there. Everybody was super nice. I think that's mostly what, like, I remember you get to, with the ROH Dojo, they're real nice. They'll let you come in. They'll tell you about the training and stuff like that. But then they'll let you sit on the class and let you watch what they're doing and learning. And I just remember, because you're really close to the ring, and I was scared to death. I'm like, I don't think my body can do any of this. And, like, freaking out. And I remember Faye Jackson came up, and she was very sweet. And she was kind of explaining to me what it's like to be like a girl in the dojo, and it looks scary, but you'll adapt. And Will Ferrara and obviously Cheeseburger were the two trainers there, and they were talking to me. And then Shaheem Ali, he singled me out really quickly. Like, everybody just was very loving and supportive, and like they could see how nervous I was, but they're like, it will be okay. You have a big support system, and that's basically what convinced me. Like, I have to do this, and this is the place to go. The first 2 months was absolute hell. Jesus, I feel so bad with any new student the first 2 months, because you know what it's like, and you literally dream of a bed made of ice because you're just so sore and beat up. Like, that's the only thing I can describe. Like, every time I see them, I'm like, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck for a while, but it will slowly but surely get easy. And that's what the trainers told me. Like, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna be in pain, but slowly but surely it will get a lot easier. And they're right. Like, there's a girl that just signed up now, which is so nice. I'm like, oh, I'm not the only girl in the dojo anymore. And so she's going through, like, I call it the boot camp zone, because she's like the first weekend. And I remember doing the drills and hating it and like feeling I was going to pass out when I was doing with her. I'm like, oh, I'm not out of breath just yet. I'm like, this is kind of nice. Until you get to the end of the night, and then you're like, God almighty, kill me. So it still sucks, even for us, like, who are trained, but it's yeah, I don't know. It's just nice to have a support system there, that when it's sucking, people are at least behind you cheering. And
so when you first arrived at the Ring of Honor dojo, was it kind of a turn and burn mentality, or was it a superstar or bust atmosphere?
No, oh God, no, it's not like we will try to accommodate every single person, and we want everybody to succeed. But the whole entire first month or two, it's basically putting your body through a limit to see if you can handle it. If you can't handle it, you're not going to step a single toe in that ring. The first 2 months you were completely outside. So if you can't handle the boot camp or like, there's yoga, there's calisthenics, there's CrossFit, like, it's this crazy mix of this workout, and it's controlling your own body weight as well. Because if you can't control your own, there's no way in hell you're going to pick somebody else up and throw them. So it's, no matter what, we will be supportive, and we will push you to the limit, because a lot of people don't know what their limit is. I didn't. I remember thinking I wanted to quit so much, and they were just yelling, not yelling like in a mean way, but like just to get like that fire in me. Like, you need to keep pushing through this. I know it hurts. I know what you want to throw up, but just push through it, and you'll get better each day. With people that, like, we feel like it's not for, we just can't let them in the ring, because it's a liability to not only them, but to other people. But we will always take the time to help them and try to get them along the same lines as other people. But I don't think there's ever been an instance where we've ever come across somebody that we just say, this isn't for you. Most of the time, people weed themselves out, as we say. Like, there might be somebody that lasts a day, like somebody pays full price and does one day and quits. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you not come back and try again? Or they get through the first 2 weeks and then they take their first hit and that's it, they're done. And I'm like, why? Just come back. Like, or there's people that come in and then constantly say they're injured, but they're not really. They just don't want to do anything, but they just want to be at the dojo, I guess. I'm not going to.
Weak people. Weak.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically.
Or people that just want to say they're there just for the sake of Instagram. This is more of an inside joke for the boys at the dojo, because they know exactly who I'm talking about. But, yeah, they're like, it's frustrating, because there's other people who are like putting their bodies on the line and like and they're sore and they're beat up to help anybody newer, or for the more advanced people, helping them try new things. And then there's just people that do a simple drill and they're like, oh, I'm hurt. I'm like, you're gonna hurt. You're gonna be in somewhat pain. The problem is you got to get through that pain and deal with it, so it won't affect you anymore. If you can't take a simple drill of like taking a clothesline or a hip toss, if you can't get through that, you definitely should not be in any form of a match. Like,
or a chest slap.
But yeah, anything. But then and then sit out and not even take notes. You're busy on your phone. That would drive me insane. Like, I had so many injuries. I've gotten concussions. I've done way too many things, but I made sure my ass was at that dojo taking notes. If I can't get in that ring, I'm going to at least try to write down and learn stuff that I hopefully can do when I'm back in it. So when somebody says they're injured and they just stop showing up, or they just sit out and they just want to be on their phone so they can take pictures to prove that they were there, even though they're not doing anything, that drives me insane. And I think it drives most of the trainers insane too. I can't speak for them. I'm not a trainer, but I know anybody else that steps in that ring and puts their body on the line to help anybody or get help, it really gets under our skin.
Understandable.
That was kind of mean. I'm sorry.
No, that's not mean at all, because wrestling's really not for. It's really not for everyone, and that's one of the greatest expressions that I heard was that 90% of wrestling is gritting your teeth and hoping to God it doesn't hurt. And many people think that it's fake, it can't hurt that much. No, it really hurts. No matter.
When I trust you, it's fake. When people are like, it's fake. I'm like, really? I have an album on my phone of all my injuries and bruises.
The fact that people just want to pay X amount of dollars, it's like people that get gym memberships and never show up. Or just go, check in, tan, and then go home. Put your hand down.
Yes.
To go through wrestling school, you find out that just 20 minutes away from your home, they have the Ring of Honor Wrestling School, the Wrestling Dojo. Women of Honor is something that's fairly new. How many people were in your training class?
I was the only girl. I still am the only girl as of a week ago, and a girl just signed up. That's why I'm like, I will show up to every boot camp to do it with her because I don't want her to quit. I know how much it sucks being the only girl, but anytime I can train with her, I will.
You're going to pick her up coffee to entice her to come in too.
No. I'm like, what did I was like, if you need water or anything. And I remember stop talking to her while she's doing things. I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. I always joke the one trainer's bad cop and I'm good cop. And I'm like, it's okay. You can do it. I know it sucks, but just keep doing it. Don't lay down. So yeah, I'm trying to be the good cop, even though I'm trying to motivate her. That's the bad cop. That's the head trainer. So they can be mean and yell at her, and I'll just be like, it's okay. But in my individual class, there was only 3 of us. It was 2 guys and me. They were 19 and 20, and they were former football players. So they were running circles around me. I couldn't keep up with them. The only thing I did better than them was the yoga, because I was like, I do GDP yoga. I could do this. Yeah, but everything else, they
add revenue.
I just felt so weak. Because it does help you stretch and then kind of build up certain stuff, control your body weight and stuff like that. But not the dojo yoga is completely different and it kicks your ass. But yeah, I just remember being down on myself a lot and you're sore and you're beat up, and then you see the other people doing so much better and being more advanced quicker than you, and you kind of get a little discouraged a little bit. But in your head, you're please don't be like this. Just keep fighting through. And that's kind of the thing that got me going. I know Will was always in my head, and he would text me. He would be like, I know it sucks, and you're only going to get better. You may think you're behind, but you have that fighter spirit, and that is the main thing you need in this business. And that's all I kept on thinking. I'm I'm not quitting. I know it looks like I should compared to the guys, but I'm not. And I'm going to prove that I belong here, and I will fight every day, and I will get the crap beat out of me every day, but I'm still going to show up. And that's basically what you have to do. You just have to keep showing up and give everything you got, and it will eventually start clicking, and it will eventually start get better. The pain won't be as bad as when you first start. But yeah, it's just crazy. We usually have small classes. We don't have everybody comes around. We kind of have an open door policy that anybody can come in and train. So we have, I remember the one time David Starr swung by and I was like, what the hell is he doing here? And then I think we just had Rory Gulak just swung by this past week too. So it's awesome to have this open door policy that anybody can come in and you train and learn different stuff. Yeah, it's usually small classes, and they focus. It's easier to focus on such a small class and push you to your limit that way.
Yeah, considering other wrestling schools are roughly around about 20 to 30 people that don't really get that hands-on experience, to have the Ring of Honor dojo so close to your house where you're not driving 3-4 hours like other individuals that we've had on our show have done, readily available to you, but at the same point you have that support system that's right around the corner. Now, being in a class of just being the only girl, thankfully you have another girl that is now in the class that you can kind of take under your wing and try to mentor her to continuously coming back, not just posting on Instagram or Facebook, or check in and say, hey, at getting my work in, whatever I used to do when I used to go to the gym. But
and I need to go tanning.
I need to go tanning. Yeah. 100% Irish kid. I look like Seamus, with orange paint on me.
This is the tannest I've ever seen you, actually.
I know, because I was outside all weekend. Unfortunately, they didn't put me in the shade, so I fried up like a tomato.
But I just want to say, though, I think it's a good thing that you're going to help the new girl, because that gives you a reputation where you're going to be willing to help others, and people are going to be more willing to work with you in the future. Does that make any sense to you?
I never really thought of it that way. I just, that's nice of it to think that way. I just think I know how much it sucked for me, and I don't want anybody else to go through that or, get discouraged in any way. So I want to be there for her to be like, please don't get discouraged. I know you will at some point, but please don't. And I'll be here if you need anything. And if you want me to sit here and do the drills with you, I will do the drills with you.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's awesome.
Any girl, I get excited when, Sumi does training now at the dojo, because it's worldwide dojo now, because the ROH dojo moved to Baltimore. So now it's the worldwide dojo is owned by Cheeseburger, and so he's a head trainer there, and Sumi comes in and trains certain nights. So that's insane. I'm like, this is now I have even more luck, to have Sumi, the Woman of Honor champion, come in and train. It's just very fortunate. I don't know how I get so lucky with certain things. I used to think I have the worst luck, but ever since I got into wrestling, I think I've had the best luck. I don't know. I think it's just maybe fortuitous that this was meant to be, and I should have been doing this for a while.
Well, you're there now, and you're doing it, and you got your whole life ahead of you in it. I mean, you're still young. You're in the prime right now of learning to where. I mean, you look at AJ Styles. And I was listening to a podcast the other day where they were talking about when the Rock and Roll Express came back to the WWE in the late 90s, and they were 41, and everyone looked at them like, oh, look at these old guys that are wrestling. They were 41. Yeah. AJ Styles is 40. And look at him.
That's crazy to me.
It is. It's crazy.
That's what I mean. I don't like people say there is a kind of, and even the new student, we were talking about it, girls don't like saying their ages, because there kind of is a stipulation with girls, that at 30, you're done. We don't know why. Every girl that I've talked to, new girl, let me rephrase this, kind of has that feeling that there's this ticking time on your career. With guys, it seems like it's a little bit farther, but it is usually 40, 45-ish, you should be wrapping it up. But now here comes AJ Styles. You're he's probably one of the best in the world, and he is in his work, and he's at the top of his game right now. So how are you going to say at a certain age you got to be done? It's no, I don't. Don't tell me what I can do. If my body can do it, I'm going to keep doing this. So, but it's not just wrestling like that. You could say that with a normal business. I have friends that had kids and just left and never went back to work because they didn't have to, because being a mother is what they've always wanted, and that's their choice, and that's how people are. Mickie James, I think, is great. That shows, I can have a kid, but doesn't mean I'm going to stop what I want to do. I think Maria Kanellis, too. She's
coming back.
I follow her on Instagram. I hope she does. I love her.
No, she just announced that she's coming back with him. So that's one of the reasons why they stopped the push of because I was pissed when they brought in
Mike and.
Well, I can't call him Mike Kanellis. I can't do it.
You don't like it?
Mike Bennett.
I know.
Yeah.
He's the miracle Mike Bennett. He will never be Mike Kanellis to me. But
I know. I think even his Instagram is Mike Kanellis. I'm like, please don't do that.
Please don't. It's I took her name because she has more notoriety in WWE. I can get that, but they halted his push, and he's in phenomenal shape now too. So thank God that kind of happened.
Oh my God, yeah. That's half the reason why I follow him on Instagram. It's just to see his workout plan. And then, they both do workout plans together. When she was a week or two postpartum, and she was in the gym with him, God bless you. That shows the drive she has, and my God, I was kind of dumbly hoping they weren't working out, and then Mila, come back to ROH, and this will be great. And the kingdom will be expanded. I was kind of hoping for that, but
I'm hoping
if they're
for
happy
it too.
There, God willing.
And that's actually one topic that we had on last week's show. Was we were talking about a large majority of talent that's on the WWE roster right now that we feel could do so much better elsewhere. And we did our segment, Love Them or Leave Them. And we talked about a large majority of the talent that we have now. And we both kind of came to that agreement that unfortunately WWE is very oversaturated right now. There's not enough room.
Even NXT is now too.
That was one of the segments where we actually brought up Mike Kanellis, and I said, unfortunately, leave him. Yeah. Why? Because he can do did so much better on the independents.
I don't know.
Let the boss have a decent run. I don't know what it is that they don't. Is it they don't trust her? I don't know. I don't know what it is because I
I
think
don't know.
she's
She puts
the
on
fans
amazing
love her.
matches.
She does good
Yeah.
matches. I mean, I just don't get it. It bothers me because I love her. I do. I think she's a great wrestler. I think she's got the charisma. She's got the personality, and I just hope she gets her opportunity. I do.
And and we could go off of pretty much the last
A lot
10.
of people.
Well, you can go off of the last 10 people that have been called up. You call up AOP, but they're not on TV
Where
because you
are
have
they?
no idea what to do with them.
Yeah, I was about to say. I thought I saw an article and I never pulled it up.
They
I
took
should've.
them off
It
of
said, like,
TV
the
because
reasons why.
they don't have a direction for them. If you don't have
Oh,
a
that's
direction,
the reason why.
yeah, because they don't have a storyline for them. That's why they took them off TV.
Okay.
This is why we have a show about independent wrestling and
Yeah,
not
because
WWE.
Independence is doing it right, and WWE is absolutely
so frustrating.
There's some
It's frustrating.
storylines that drive me freaking insane,
Oh,
and
my
I'm like,
God.
where is this going?
No
But-
offense, two matches last night from because we're recording this the night after Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's going to be dropping a few weeks after it, but hey, now you know the time frame that we're at.
Yeah.
But two matches last night that I couldn't care less about because the
Sami
storyline.
Zayn and Bobby Lashley.
Thank you. And second match, I guess you can get us. Jinder Mahal and Roman
Oh,
Reigns.
yeah, that one too.
Couldn't give two shits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch.
But Ginger
no,
did
I-
have a great match, though. You got to give
It
that guy.
was
It
a-
helped him.
But he's not a bad wrestler either.
No, but it helped.
But
him.
his storyline is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
But you look at
Yeah.
you look at the rosters of and because we have a woman of honor on the line right now, you look at the storylines that ROH is doing. You look at the storylines that Women of Honor is doing, and then you compare it to WWE. Now you have individuals in ROH, and you can even expand that even further to other promotions as well. I know we've talked about MLW numerous times.
Yeah.
You have a plethora of talent, but you're utilizing every single person, giving them that opportunity to shine. But you have phenomenal talent in WWE who essentially you're deemed the best of the best,
And they're in catering
and they're in catering.
the whole night.
Hey, you're in the main event
Yeah.
of main event. Wow.
Dude, I didn't
Cut
even
me
know main
now.
event was still on.
Cut me
To
now.
be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't
cut
even.
me
Yeah,
now.
I didn't know it was still on either. Like, do they still do that?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's
It's like the
They
new
do?
dark match.
yeah, it's basically our show, the dark match.
Yeah. It's the dark match. It's why you show up to the event early because
Yeah.
they're going to record main
Yeah.
event and superstars.
And superstars. Those are the matches before Raw and SmackDown are the main event and superstars matches.
Yeah,
It's
and-
stupid.
Wow.
It's the only time you can see the Revival, who's by far the
And
greatest
I
tag
love
team.
the Revival.
Who doesn't
new
love the
Minnesota
Revival?
Wrecking Crew.
Except for probably her boss, Cody Rhodes. But anyway, moving on from there. So you're in the Ring of Honor dojo right now, but you've obviously ventured off. You've had some great matches. You've had some great matches even with Kelly Klein. And going back to an original point that you made, I watched this match. I watched it before we even considered having you on the show. You took a spot in this match that you are either the best seller I've ever seen in my entire life, or she literally kneed the shit out of you and probably broke your nose. We're going to do a segment right now, real or fake. Are you a good seller, or did she literally knee the crap out of you?
Well, I think I'm a good seller, but oh God, I don't have nightmares about it, but I have like flashbacks of it, and it kind of makes me chuckle now. It wasn't funny at the time. I thought it was the first knee that did it. I think it was. I know, like after the match, like when it went
so
on
hard
TV,
you lost count.
Yeah, I think there were 5 knees. I think there were 5, maybe 6. I just remember kind of the first 2, because I really don't remember the second one. But the guys put it in slow-mo, and I remember them saying, like, okay, so this is where you take the brunt of it, and then you think you're knocked out at this one. It's like, but no, you could see, like, you're trying to, like, throw your arm up to, like, hit her or something, and then she catches you again, and that's the one that fully knocks you out, and that's when you go limp. And they put it in slow-mo for me to see, because I really don't remember the end of that match. I remember taking a knee and feeling like my eyeball and my cheek and my nose, like, exploded off my face. And I was like, I think I broke something. This is really bad. And then I kind of saw, like, the knee coming again, and that's about it. I think the second one is what knocked me out. I don't remember being put in her submission, her guillotine. Don't remember that at all.
Wow.
I remember, kind of coming to and seeing like the lights above and the ref being like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I think I'm dead." And he's like, whatever you do, don't touch your face. And I was like, what do you mean? And I, like, if somebody tells you don't touch your face, what's the first thing you're going to do is touch your face. And I felt my cheek far out past my nose, and I knew something was wrong. And I was like, oh God. And I just felt like my face was on fire. And he's like, we have to come get people for you. And I remember, like, the security came, and they literally had, Vegas has, like, this steep ramp. They literally had to, like, put me, not on their shoulders, but I just remember seeing my feet dragging up the ramp because I couldn't really see well, and I felt really disoriented. And as soon as I got through the curtain, my trainer, Will, was right there with an ice pack. He said, you need to put this on your face immediately. And I was like, is it that bad? Is it that bad? And so people, like, were coming up and asking if I was okay, and then obviously, like, asking me about the match. And I remember, like, it's kind of a blur. I do remember people just kept coming up to me like, are you okay? And they kept on pulling the ice pack away, and all of them were like, ooh. And I'm like, stop doing that. Like, but nobody would let me see the mirror. And I'm like, I just kind of want to see my face right now and see how bad it is. I do. Oh, what the jerk face that he is now. I remember Jay White came up to me, and he, with his charming New Zealand accent, like, he said, what happened to you, love? I can't do a New Zealand accent. That's horrible. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Jay
but
White.
He's like, yeah, so sorry, Jay White. Like, I removed it, and everybody else's reaction was like, oh my God. He just started busting out laughing. And I'm like, that's not nice. He's like, well, you learn how to not take a knee anymore, huh? And I'm like, shut the F up, Jay White. So, yeah, I just remember, like, right above my eyebrow, like, was this big bump, and my face was just swollen out. And we were all joking that we were going to stay up to catch the flight in the morning back home. But I remember vaguely eating at the restaurant and, like, taking forever to chew. And I remember being like, I don't think I'm going to stay up. I think I'm going to go take a nap for 2 hours. And, like, I literally had a pillow surrounded my face in ice. And I just felt like out of it for a full God knows how many hours. And I remember, like, they had to help me on the plane. Like, I just was not of it. It was nuts. But I had my nephew's birthday party the very next day. So I literally landed. My dad picked me up and had to take me to my nephew's. And they literally just found out I was wrestling a month prior. So this wasn't the best way for them to first see my match. I didn't realize once I got on the plane with the air pressure, it turned my whole entire face purple.
Oh, God.
And so I got off the plane. I didn't know because I was wearing sunglasses. And then when I got in my sister's and took the sunglasses off, my mom started crying and freaking out. And I didn't realize it looked as bad because I was on the airplane with sunglasses on. I didn't go to a mirror. I didn't go to the bathroom. I didn't see until I got to my sister's. And I had to explain to her, like, it's okay. Nothing's broken. Got checked out. I'm fine. It's just going to be swollen and bruised for a little while. Nobody knew for the longest time, like a year into training. I think only a handful of people in my personal life knew what I was doing. Yeah, my brother and my cousin and her husband, maybe like one friend. That's it.
I had a tattoo like that when I was 18 where I didn't take a shirt off for like a year.
That's how I was with
my
my
I got a tattoo.
Is it Roy Orbison?
Yep.
No, it was just Chinese writing that doesn't mean anything that it's supposed to because I was trying to be my nickname. It turns out there's no alphabet in China.
No.
You should have really paid attention in school.
Okay, well,
You
You should have really paid attention.
China class in high school.
It's actually Chinese,
Okay.
first and foremost.
Chinese class
And it would
or
be
China.
Mandarin class.
Okay, whatever.
Moving on.
I just ate mandarins at lunch, and they came in a little plastic container.
It's also a language.
Didn't know that at 18.
You learn it now at 37?
No, I know that now because I know John Cena speaks Mandarin and stuff. I've heard him talk about it.
Oh, because John Cena does it.
Hey, you know what? You can't see
Move
me,
it. Oh,
all
my
right?
God. Just move out of there. Just get out of here so I can't see you in person.
I can completely understand with the concussions and stuff, but you know, like I've had probably 6, maybe more than that. I wrestled all growing up. Plus, I got into a lot of fights.
You can tell.
And yeah, it's not good. I have bad memory. No,
So mean.
no, you really can't.
You
Like,
really
my
need to
memory
listen to our
is
show
shot.
more often.
My memory's not good, and it's got to be because of concussions. I'm sure it is. But the whole
Let's just
thing with
scare the
going
poor
to
woman,
sleep,
why don't we?
No.
This is Diamond Tiger Kobe Durst, and you're listening to Dark Match Podcast, available on iTunes Podcast.
So, continuing on with Stella Grey here. Now, you've had some phenomenal matches. Obviously, you had a not-so-stellar moment with Kelly Klein in Las Vegas, but you've had some great matches with Karen Q. You've also had a great match with Brandy Rhodes as well. I mean, can I call her Brandy Rhodes, or is it just Brandy? Are we allowed to use the Rhodes last name?
I think so. Yeah, I think we.
Why can she, but he can't?
I don't know. That makes like no sense, right? Like. As far
we
as I
have
know,
our perfect
like,
person on the phone right now. We have debated this numerous times. How can Brandy Rhodes use the last name Rhodes, but Cody, they're like, oh no, screw you, you can't use it.
Because she had a different name when she was on WWE. She went by something
That's
else.
true.
Where have you been the last 6 weeks when we've been debating this?
Sorry, you know what?
It's all those
I'm
concussions.
going to blame it on CTE.
It's gotta be.
Okay?
It's gotta be all those
CTE,
concussions.
I finally caught up to the conversation. What was her name? It was...
Eden?
Eden.
Brandy Eden, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why. She wasn't Brandy Rhodes, so she can use it.
CTE. Hashtag
Yeah.
CTE.
Yeah, hashtag Matt's got CTE.
We've been arguing over this.
I forget stuff all the time.
We've been arguing this for 6 weeks, and you finally oh yeah, that's right. You know what? She had a different name in WWE. So we don't even need Stella anymore.
That's not true.
That's definitely not true.
Dark Match needs
Yes,
Stella. That's our new hashtag.
We do. Get Stella booked. This is screw Kobe. Just hashtag get Stella book. So
in Ohio, so that way she can chop Patrick.
Yeah.
Boom.
No, that's not going to happen. But moving along, you've had some fantastic matches. What is next for not only Women of Honor, but what's also next for Stella Grey? What can we expect going into the second half of 2018, not only from yourself? We definitely want you to talk about yourself, but we want you to also kind of give us the inside scoop right now. What's going on with Women of Honor? Who should we watch out for? And who should we keep an eye out for with yourself as well?
Well, Women of Honor, it's like, I don't know what it is. Like, you just kind of get this feeling of like a buzz, like back in the locker room. Like everybody.
It's not just the locker room.
Every woman. Okay, well, that's good. But we all feel it. Like I don't want to say there's a pressure, but there kind of is. Like we have this pressure, or more like this responsibility, because we know where this is going and where we want it to go, that every match we feel like we have to give 110%, and we want to show that we belong on pay-per-views, we belong as much on TV as just as the guys, and people and the fans are getting behind our matches just like any other match. So it's kind of like always this excitement, like when a match happens or when it ends, you're like, you know what, I like that match and I feel like did good, and or just the excitement of bringing in different people. Like I always had this envision, and I probably because I feel like this is where it's going, and I hope it is. We want Women of Honor to be like the place to come if you're a woman wrestler to prove that you are part of the best. We have like a partnership with Stardom, so we just in a couple of weeks we have Best in the World, and half the girls from Stardom are coming over, and those girls are insanely good. It's exciting because you're just like, you think you're good, well, let's see, you might be good in America, let's see who's the best in Japan, and we'll see who's the best in the world. And ironically, that's the name of the pay-per-view. But it's exciting because there's talents that we're bringing in, like Thunder Rosa was just on the San Antonio and the Dallas shows. Like, for her to have an opportunity, and she did amazing. Like, I loved her and her matches. So we just feel like if you have the fight and the want and the talent, we want you on, we want you in, and show us what you got. Now, for me, on the other hand, I haven't even hit my 1-year wrestling anniversary. That will be, not ironically, it's kind of like a blessing. My 1-year anniversary will be at the exact same location and the exact same promotion that I debuted.
Wow.
Almost to the day. I think it's like a day apart. It's Jenny Rose's promotion. It's called Aspire. I think it's in Somerdale, New Jersey. I think I debuted July 16th. This year it's July 15th. So it's almost to the day for the same company and everything like that. But that being said, still that hasn't been a year yet. I'm under a year. There's girls that have been wrestling 10 years, and they're amazing and they're talented. I know how fortunate and blessed I am to be training at the ROH Dojo, or have trained at the ROH Dojo, to get in Women of Honor so quickly and have the matches that I do and continue to have matches. But that just means like I need to step my game up, and I need to keep learning and keep just getting stronger. Like I literally just hired a personal trainer. Like I work out at the dojo and I do the gym, but I feel like, you know what, that's not good enough. Kelly Klein can easily, if you watch that Vegas match, lift me from a top rope and throw me over her head like I was a ragdoll, which didn't feel that good. So I'm like, you know what, I want to be able to throw Kelly just as back as much as she can do me. So if that's the case, then I need to step up my game, and I need to get stronger, and I need to be able to I don't know, lift. I don't want to say bitches because nobody's bitches, but lift these girls around and toss them around.
These chicks.
No,
These chicks,
do
yeah.
not. No.
But when you're like angry
What's wrong
in the
with
gym,
chicks?
you
I
gotta
come
like
from,
get in
like,
that angry mode.
I come from the like Saved by the Bell era. Like I don't remember. Like you probably remember because you're old as shit.
Okay, AC, what's up?
You don't call women
right, you're
chicks.
more-
You get punched in the eye and you get a black eye on the only episode you're on. Don't you remember when like Jesse's brother did that?
Yeah, I just
What?
CTE. I can't remember. Sorry.
Please tell.
Because girls were called chicks.
Yeah, you don't call women chicks.
It was Jesse Spano, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. That's how old we are. That we know their last names.
It's not that hard. Lisa Turtle, Kelly Kapowski, AC Slater,
God.
Screech Powers, Zach Morris,
We're old.
Richard
Wow.
Belding. I mean, I can continue on.
Yeah.
Like, yes, CTE
Wait,
sucks.
his first name was Richard? I never knew that.
Yeah,
Wait,
Richard Belding.
Dick Belding.
Never
Yeah.
knew that. Never
Richard
knew that.
Belding. Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
I'm surprised Zach didn't make fun of that. That his name
You
was
need to
Dick
watch it.
Belding.
No.
probably
This
'cause
is
it
what
was
you need
Big
to watch, and we'll go from here. If you want to watch something really funny, funnyordie.com does this special every single week. It's called Zach Morris's Trash. Dead serious.
Really?
What?
Not even kidding. It is an entire series. They have an episode each and every week where they break down one episode and they talk about how trash Zach Morris was.
Wow.
And it always ends with the same thing. And we never saw her again. Maybe because she effing killed herself. Like, we're like,
Wait,
man.
what?
you need to watch it. It's called Zach Morris's Trash. Just watch one
Okay,
episode.
I'll have to
You
look.
can tweet at me immediately afterwards.
Funny or
I'll
Die
send
can send our check in the mail.
yeah, ad revenue right here, funnyordie.com.
Okay.
I just got you a new listener for Zach Morris's Trash. So I'll send
I
you a
have to
link.
look at this, yeah.
Great to have you on. For those individuals that do want to follow along with your journey with the wonderful things that are going on with Women of Honor. First and foremost, real quick, Stella, are you all in?
No, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I would love to be. I was talking to Brandy. Apparently, their dog Pharaoh is going to be there, like, for meet and greets. And I made a joke. I'm like, if your dog's going to be there, I'm showing up with dog treats. And she, like, wrote back, I'm like, no, I'm dead serious. If your dog is going to be at that show, I'm showing up. I'm a huge dog person. So, yeah, I might just randomly show up. Might be backstage. Might be hanging. I don't know. I don't think I'm wrestling, but I would love to if they need me to. So maybe I'll just show up.
Just show up. Open door policy, just like open challenge. Just walk out there and just do like an open challenge. But if you want to follow along, find out if she actually does show up there. She goes into the ring. I mean, you can go into the ring and just lay out dog treats and you can just have a wrestling match with Pharaoh. I mean,
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I would die. I would love that.
but if you want to follow along for that,
So
that would be an absolute main event right there. I just
Oh
booked
my God.
all in.
I used to have a German Shepherd too, and I think Pharaoh's like a white German Shepherd.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm even
Pharaoh's
more
beautiful.
like I love their dog so much. I'm like I want to pet your dog and I want to feed him treats and I want to give him belly rubs.
You can find her on Instagram at Stella Grey 215. That's Stella Stella, Grey spelled Grey 215. Same on Twitter as well, Stella Grey 215. Do you have a Facebook page as well?
Yep, it's just Stella Grey.
Perfect. So if you want to follow along, that's where you can find Stella on her journey through Women of Honor, hopefully getting all in her match against Pharaoh and everywhere that leads her from there. Stella, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Good luck with everything. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
You have our call-in number now, so definitely keep us updated, and hopefully we'll be hearing a lot more of you in the future.
What an interview, dude. First female guest that we've had on the show, and I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I'm having a panic attack, man. I can't imagine. First female guest, like you said, and the stories and the upbringing. I went ice skating as a kid. She snuck in, too. I don't even care about anything she said. She paid off Atlas Security. She is related to Atlas Security. She is related to someone in ECW. You're telling me that someone of that age... Once again, we didn't disclose it. We didn't talk about it.
We did the math, though.
We can do math. I was a
Single
finance
digits,
major.
Single digits, young single digits. Had to
No,
have
no. I wouldn't say that. I don't know.
been. I mean,
No matter how old she was. I mean, I would be 13. I'd be like, oh, shit. And a girl doing that? I'd like, no offense. Sorry. Don't mean to say that.
just
but,
the atmosphere for being a younger girl. And it was her and her girlfriend that
Yeah.
were there together, you know?
Yeah, at least she had someone there, but like it was kind of good that the security guards were watching over.
Took them under their wing,
Yeah,
sort of.
absolutely. So, well, fantastic interview. I'd love to have her back on again. Only a
Definitely.
bright future for her as well. I think that's the best way to truly end it. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Hope you
we
guys
kind of
enjoyed the
had we had a longer than normal interview. And we had, before this, we had an even funner interview. So we can honestly tell you that next week's episode is going to be epic. No pun intended. Actually, a ton of puns intended. Very fun interview.
Just wait till you tune in.
Yeah, just tune in. Tune in. You're going to enjoy it. Be sure to subscribe to this video if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, thank you. Subscribe. Show us a rating. Also show us that you left a comment. We're going to pick a random listener to get some free merch, but exclusive right here. I don't know if you guys are listening or not on it, if you found it on it, but we are now available on Google Play.
Yes.
So we are all across the boards. There's no reason for you not to listen to us except for the fact if you don't like us. But in that case, we don't give a shit.
Yep. Tune in next week. Make sure that you pay attention to our social media because we will give a little Easter egg towards the end of the week of who our next guest is going to be.
Well, it's not really an Easter egg. We're just going to tell you.
We'll just leak it to you on Thursday or Friday.
No, on Friday. We'll tell you who it is. On
Friday. Friday is our new thing. We're going to let
No, not always. Sometimes it was going to be a surprise. But I will say this week we'll let you know on Friday. If you're listening to this right now, Friday, what is that going to be, the 6th? So Friday, July 6th, you will know who our next guest is going to be. It is a fantastic interview. We love him very much. It's a very exciting interview. So be sure to subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. We are the Dark Match Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at the Dark Match Podcast as well. We're on Twitter at Dark Match PC. Be sure to like and follow this video. Send us a screenshot of it, and we'll select one of you to win some free merch as well. Tune in next week. Thank you so much for tuning in this week with Stella Grey. Have a great night, everybody.
Boom.